The fact that I'm a water sign and my sign is a literal fish and I can't swim to save my life, I feel like it's a scam. I feel like it's a scam.
I've been watching you, so tell me what to do. I want it, girl, I need it. Give me all of you tonight.
Hi, I'm Tassie and welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home. And if you're a new subscriber, make yourself at home by clicking the subscribe button. So, if you are someone who is really into astrology, you're probably going to find this video really interesting, which is the whole reason why you clicked it. Thank you, by the way. And if you're anything like me, where it's like you get into it, but you're not that invested into it to really take majority of these things to heart, then it's like you'll probably find this interesting, but at the same time you're probably just gonna be like, it is what it is. But I decided to make this video because for the longest I have heard all of these stereotypes and all of these things about what Pisces do and their stereotypes and characteristics. And I just wanted to defend myself. I can't speak for everyone else, but I just wanted to defend myself and speak on my part, because there's a lot of Pisces stereotypes where I, honest to God, don't think that I fit the description whatsoever. So I made a list and I decided to go down the list to see what all I relate to, what all I can't relate to, and so on and so forth. So if that's something that interests you, you came to the right place. But before we get into the video, because like I said, I know a lot of you are highly invested in astrology, I know that this information serves some kind of importance. So for those that are concerned, I am a Pisces sun, my moon is Leo, and my rising is a Libra. So keep that in mind throughout the video if you are somebody that is highly invested in astrology. These are all of my opinions, all of my interpretations. I'm not saying that all of it is accurate or that it should be taken to heart. I don't know who can relate. All I know is me personally, this is just me. This is just me describing me. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing right off the top of the dome that everyone does when they associate Pisces is that we're the most emotional creatures to ever exist on Earth. Now with that one, I will admit that's true. I will 100% admit that's true, and here's the reason why. Growing up and hearing that Pisces are emotional, the only thing that I ever hear about our emotions is that we're always sad and that we're always crying and stuff like that. And every time somebody used to say that, I used to just be sitting there like, what? That I don't know. No. Now, there's nothing wrong with crying. It's a healthy thing. Sadness is a healthy emotion, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like they literally would paint this picture of Pisces as if it's like that's all we do. Like we're just the most submissive, crying ass bitches on the face of the planet. And it's like, I can't relate. I can't relate. I don't really cry that much, and I definitely don't cry about stupid things. But this is where I have to say that this is true, because emotional is the word, not crybaby, not depressed, not sadness, not nothing. That is just, for some reason, people automatically associate being emotional with being sad and crybabies and all of that. But in reality, emotional literally just means that you are very in tune with your emotions, and when your emotions come out, they don't hesitate. There's not a tiny dose of it. It comes out full force. And for me, that emotion is anger. I won't hesitate to let somebody know that they got me messed up. I won't hesitate to open my mouth and let it be known that I'm unpleased with something. And I will admit I'm working on it, but there are certain situations where I pretty much just probably do the most. Just a little bit. I do the most over certain situations where it can easily be solved or talked out or anything. And that's just because I don't know. But yeah, as far as Pisces being emotional, I'll own up to it. We are definitely emotional. The next stereotype is that all Pisces are creative. Honestly, I don't know that many Pisces in my life, but I can speak on myself. And I will say that I have always had this thing for art. I love art. I love visual art, music, just anything artistic, I like that. And in my younger years, I definitely, well, I think that's everybody though. I think everybody wanted to be a Disney Channel star at one point in time. So I was dead serious and dead set on being like a child star, specifically Disney Channel, because the Disney Channel stars, they got to act, they got to sing, they got to dance. Some of them ended up having like clothing lines and everything, and those are things that interest me. And back then I used to like make little crafts and draw. Like I really don't do it as much anymore, but it's like, as far as creativeness, I'm really good at like just picking things up and making something out of them. Like when I went to high school, I never had any knowledge of how to edit videos, how to do Photoshop, how to do much of anything. But it was like the moment that I went to high school and I had an interactive media class, it was like second nature to me. I never learned this stuff a day in my life, but I came in there and I just started touching things and clicking things, and it just happened. Like I you know. And as far as music, I will say music is one of my very, very, very first loves. I love music. And there have been times in my younger years where I would sit up and write songs. I even wrote like a few raps and stuff like that. Like I be doing stuff. And there are times where like I'll come up with ideas and I'll run it by my friends and stuff like that, and they'll look at me like, how do you be thinking of this stuff? How do you know how to do this, that, and the third? And it's like, child, I don't know. Like my brain just be working and doing stuff, and then ideas come out, and then I don't know. Yeah, so 100% I will say, like, as far as I go, Pisces are definitely very, very creative. Third stereotype is that a lot of Pisces are very, very selfless, meaning that they always will put others before themselves. They're very empathetic. Like, they're just all around people that just love to give. That one, I have to say, is 100% true, but I am not a pushover. I can tell when someone is abusing their power. I can tell when someone is doing a little bit too much, and I will not hesitate to leave that situation, leave that person behind, and continue on with my life. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I definitely am an empath. I always like put myself in other people's shoes, which is the reason for like half of my problems. I'm always trying to like fix a situation as much as I can, even though it's really not my problem. But like I said, I know when to cut people off when it's time to get cut off, okay? Like we not doing none of that. We're not doing none of that. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna let you go if you need to go. That's not a problem for me. The fourth stereotype that I heard is that a lot of Pisces are like hopeless romantics. When I think of hopeless romantics, I think of someone who literally just like lives in a fairy tale land when it comes to relationships. And it's like, to a certain extent, I kind of understand that and fit that description, but I also kind of sort of see it as like almost like a negative thing too. Like, y'all really think that we're just like easy to manipulate and coerce and stuff like that, and I can't relate to that. I will say, if I am in a relationship with you, or you're like a friend of mine, or anybody relatively close that I care about, I'm gonna care about you. I'm gonna care about you a lot. I'm gonna do a lot for you. Like, you're gonna be almost like my whole entire life. But once again, as I already stated, I know when to leave. I know when to let things go, okay? But I will 100% admit, when I love really, really hard. I love so much. And yeah, like anybody else, I would like a fairy tale relationship, to be honest. I want a happily ever after, just like any other little girl. I want to have the love of my life, my soulmate, my everything. Like, I would love to have that. But do I believe that every single frog is Prince Charming? Hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna have my fun. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'll see you when I see you. I don't know what to tell you. Another stereotype that I hear about Pisces a lot is that we bottle our feelings up a lot. 100% true. I don't do it on purpose though. That's the thing. I don't do it on purpose. It's just that there are times where, like, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, ever since I was a kid, I've always been like a very independent person. So it's not that I'm like afraid to express my feelings or whatever. It's just that if I'm going through something, I'm not one of those people where I'm gonna purposely surround myself with people, and I'm not one of those people where it's like I'm going to try and distract myself from it. I can't do that. I physically cannot do it. So I will admit there will be certain situations or certain moments in time where like I just shut everyone out, and it's because I'm mainly going through so many things, and I literally have like unresolved issues all the way back to like me being 5 years old. I'm not even joking. Like I literally just keep everything to myself. I'm working on it though, because now that I'm an adult, it's like it's getting ugly, honestly. Like it's getting so bad. But I will admit, like, this is definitely true on my part. I don't really like bothering people. I don't like really going out of my way and showing people my vulnerable side, because I don't like the idea of someone being able to use that against me. I don't like people knowing my secrets. I don't like people being that close to me to where they can, like, you know, really pick me apart and do whatever they want to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I let that happen like one time, literally one time in my life. Never again. Never again. So I don't do it on purpose. It's just, I don't know. I've just always been that type of person where I'm gonna handle it by myself. I'm gonna make sure that I'm good, because this is my life. This is me, my body, my vessel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now this one right here, I want to talk about this one right here, because this is something that I've been seeing a lot lately. Apparently there's a stereotype that Pisces are victimizers. Like, they're always playing the victim and they're never wrong in a situation. On my behalf, baby, that is false. That is very, very false. But I will say, I do understand where that comes from. I 100% understand where that comes from. For me, I wouldn't say that I play a victim role, but I will admit that for a large portion of my life, it did take me a long time to realize that I am in control way more than I thought I was. Because honestly, growing up, I come from a family where it's like we don't have that much money. We're not like the biggest ballingest people in the world, but I was spoiled. I was very spoiled, and on top of me being spoiled, I was very sheltered. So it's like majority of my life, I never really had to worry about much. I never really had to go get much. I never really had to do too much to get anything. I literally could just have fun, be me, and just live my life. I didn't have to worry about too much. But once I got older and, you know, life started getting a little bit harder, and, you know, you start developing into that personality where like you're not the cute and cuddly kid anymore, and certain people don't want to respect that and appreciate that, and then the real world hits you because you don't have any distractions anymore and you're old enough to kind of understand what's all going on. It's just like, honest to God, it was a culture shock for me. What can I say? It was hard for me to deal with. So once I got older, especially like in my teenage years, there were certain situations where I always kind of played the woe is me card, when in reality it's like, honey, half of these situations wouldn't have happened if you would have just handled it yourself, opened your mouth, let people know what was wrong, you know, not bottled up your feelings. You catch my drift? But like I said, it wasn't me necessarily saying like nothing is ever my fault. It's just that I had never had so much power over certain situations. So it's like, for me, even still to this day, there's times where I forget that like if I want to change something, if I want to be in control of something, I can. I don't have to wait for that person to act right. I don't have to wait for this person to do something for me. I don't have to wait until shit hits the fan. I can do whatever I want to do. So as far as like playing the victim, I have to say, like, on my part, that's false. I don't play the victim. I can own up to when I'm wrong. I can own up to where I messed up in a situation, but I will admit I do have a hard time realizing that like if I wanted something to change, I can be the change myself. I don't have to wait on people. And I'm working on it, but I have a tendency to forget that everyone doesn't think the same way that I think, and they weren't raised the same way that I was raised. So it's like there are certain things that are common sense to me that isn't common sense to everyone else, but I just automatically write it off as like, you should know this, and if you don't know this, then you're probably stupid, or you definitely know what you're doing and you're just trying to be funny. So that's another thing too. So I kind of understand where that stereotype comes from, but I can say on my part, I am not someone who plays victim. I can own up to where I messed up. Another stereotype, which I touched on a little earlier in the video, is that we can somehow be easily persuaded into doing things. Like I said, me personally, nah. No. I don't want to sound like a spoiled bitch, but at the same time, it's my way or the highway. Like, I don't play that. That's just not, no. I'm gonna lay down the rules. I'm gonna let you know what I expect. I'm gonna let you know what I want. I'm not about to let you push me around and do whatever you want to do just for the sake of doing it. Now, have there been times where I kind of, you know, became submissive for the wrong people and let certain people get a little bit too far, a little bit too carried away with how they were treating me? Of course, I'm a human being at the end of the day. But to sit there and say that I can be easily persuaded and that I'm just like everybody's punching bag, honey, I'm a punching bag that punches back. So I don't know where y'all got that little analogy from, but false. Very false. Another stereotype is that Pisces tend to be very pessimistic. Not gonna lie, I do be pessimistic sometimes. I'm not always looking on the bright side. When I do think about the what ifs, it's never a positive what if. It's literally like, what if I die? What if I become homeless? What if we get like some type of disease? Like, I'm always thinking of like the worst case scenario. I never think of the best case scenario. And in certain situations, it's like, it's not necessarily being pessimistic, it's just being real. But yeah, I always am just like thinking of the worst situation ever. And the first time that I learned that I was kind of like a pessimist was when we did the cup. And it was like, is the cup half empty or half full? And I'm thinking like it's half empty because like, why wouldn't it be half empty? It's literally half of it is gone, because let's say you drunk a whole thing of juice and then it's only half left. Like, honey, it's not half full, it's half empty. And then they were just like, oh, well, if you see it as this, you're a pessimist, which means you see everything as negative. And it's just like, well, all right then. The next stereotype is that Pisces are lazy. How I'm lazy? I know that's false, because I am somebody where I have to do something. I have to have some type of routine. I cannot just sit down all day and just not do stuff. Like, honestly, this lockdown has literally been like kicking my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. It has literally been kicking my ass. Can't go to school, can't go to work, can't do nothing. Like, you just gotta, same thing over and over again, all day, every day. I even gave myself a routine for being in my own house. Like, I can't just not do stuff. I don't understand how y'all can't do stuff. I just cannot, and I can't wait to like go back to work and school and stuff like that. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. But like I said, this is on behalf of me. I haven't met that many Pisces in my life, so maybe it applies to the rest of them, but I just know for me, baby, that's false. Another stereotype for Pisces is that we are stingy. I'm gonna give you that one. I'm not gonna lie. Because will I give my all to people if I care about them? Yeah. But like, you really think I'm finna give all of my all to you? Nah. No. Like, the best way I can explain it, I definitely share. I definitely will give a good fortune out. I believe that when you put good energy into the universe, it'll come back to you tenfold. I believe in karma, you know, like, so, you know, I'm not necessarily stingy in a sense where I'm not gonna help people if they need help, but I am definitely stingy with my time. I am definitely stingy with my energy. Money, not necessarily, but at the same time, it's just like, baby, if you was really about it, you would go out, you would get it. I don't know what you want me to do. Because mommy is a high maintenance, high quality bitch. I need this. Like, I need this, okay? Like, look, my nails ain't done. This hasn't been done since I started my channel. Like, this is not me, y'all. This is not me. But yeah, I'm very stingy with my time and energy, if anything. Like, that is just something where everybody can't say that they have that they've touched that. I just know, like, no. Now this stereotype, this is something where I don't know where this came from. Apparently a lot of Pisces are like extremely manipulative. Like, what do y'all be doing? I will say though, I have that power to where if I genuinely did want to manipulate a situation, I probably could. But like, I would never purposely manipulate people into doing my dirty work or to doing things, period. I feel like that's just one of those things where it's almost like a superpower that you just don't have control over. Because I will admit, like, there have been certain people where it's like, I don't really have to say much, I don't really have to do too much. I'll probably just say something in passing and they just like go off and do what they want to do. But I wouldn't say that I literally sit down and like detail for detail tell people what to do. Don't mess with this person, don't mess with that person, blah 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 blah. No, I don't do things like that. I feel like drama and messiness, that's just, I don't do things like that. Another stereotype about Pisces is that we are stubborn. I understand where that comes from, but I wouldn't say that I'm stubborn. I'm definitely somebody where I would like things to be handled a certain way, but honestly, I'm not afraid of change. I'm not afraid of, like, you know, taking accountability. I'm not afraid of moving on. It's just that I have to move on and change when I feel it is best. And there's a lot of people where it's like they think that, oh, well, everyone else is doing it, so I need to do it too. And it's like with me, it's like, no. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna move. I'll move when I feel comfortable. I'll do something new if I feel like it's meant for me at that moment. But I'm not just gonna jump on a wave just because everyone else is doing it. And like I said earlier, you know, my early years, I was extremely spoiled. So there were certain times where it's just like, honey, it's my way or the highway. And if I don't get my way, then nobody's getting their way. Period, point blank. I don't care. So definitely see where that comes from, but I wouldn't say that I'm stubborn per se. I need time to myself, and I need to feel comfortable within myself before I move on to the next task. And the last stereotype that I hear about Pisces all the time is that we are somehow psychic. This is true. This is true. It is 100% true, bro. It is 100% true. Little fun fact, I'm actually in the very beginning stages of my spiritual journey. And one of the things about a spiritual journey is that you start to reflect on your life thus far. You start to really like sit back and analyze and look at certain things. And when I sat back and noticed it, I'm like, I've had a lot of weird things happen to me in my life. Like, seriously, I have had like certain things pop up in my dreams and then it'll pop up in reality. I'm always experiencing deja vu. Anytime a dead relative in my family wants to talk to me, they always appear in my dreams. I have always seen, like, I don't want to say glitches in the universe because that's gonna open up a whole other conspiracy, but like, seriously, there have been moments in my life where I'm just like, I know that happened, and the fact that people are telling me that it didn't when I was there, it bugs me so much. And then the trait that always gets me in trouble, I have very strong intuition, like very strong intuition. This is something that gets me in trouble a lot because it's like, I, being the type of person where I don't like to get into a lot of drama and I don't like being like the bad guy in a situation, there will be times where I would look at a person or be around certain people and I would just automatically be like, I want to leave. I don't like this person. But I would never say anything to my friends, and I would just never really speak on it because I never wanted people to like think that I was being a hater. Because what are you supposed to say when you say, oh, you don't like somebody and you don't know why you don't like them? That comes off as hater vibes, right? But it would just always be something about these people that would just rub me the wrong way, and then lo and behold, they do something and it's like, see? And it's like, I always just somehow get in trouble because they're just like, well, why didn't you say anything? And it's like, well, I didn't want to be the bad guy. And then, oh my God, let's just talk about how I'm so observant of so many things. Like, dude, oh my goodness, it's weird. Like, you don't have to do too much. You could just say a certain word a certain way, and I can already tell, like, damn near your whole entire life story based off of you saying that word. I can tell if you're a serial killer just by the way that you eat salad or something. Like, I just be picking up stuff, and it bothers me because I am somebody where I am not a drama person. I stay in the cut. I mind my business. I don't want no parts in this. And I just be knowing all this information. Like, leave me alone. So yeah, the psychic thing, I get told that all the time. All the time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the stereotypes that I know of that are associated with Pisces. I've defended my case, I've stated my point, and the little bit of information that I do know about astrology, I know that a lot of times you're not always going to resonate with every single thing stated about your sign, because at the end of the day, your sun sign is not the only thing that defines your character. That's why you have a chart that has everything, every house, every planet, every position, and I 100% understand that, but you know, I'm still learning, I'm still getting into the swing of things, but I just thought this would be a little fun thing to do, and I wanted to defend the Pisces everywhere, because I cannot be the only Pisces that is like this. And even though it's just for fun, and it's like people just sitting up talking, and it's not that serious, I'm not gonna lie, there are times where like I really do feel like, is there something wrong with me? Because there's a lot of situations where it's like I can't relate to what people are talking about. I can't relate to what people are saying, and it's like all these other Pisces are like, yeah, it's true, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know, like I just be feeling left out sometimes, and then sometimes I feel like I'm crazy because, like I said already, they always paint these pictures of Pisces as being so like submissive and just crying all the time and just never defend themselves. They just some punks. And then there's Pisces like me, where it's just like I'm 9 times out of 10 the one that's swinging first. Like I don't hesitate, I don't care. I'm always like cussing people out. I'm always telling my friends get their head out of their ass, and I just like, is it me? Is it me? Honestly, it could be my childhood trauma now that I think about it, because some shit went down. A lot of shit went down. Maybe that helps. Maybe that got something to do with it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you haven't already. Comment down below if you can relate or if you can't relate, or if there's anything that you think I missed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see similar things like this, and share if you can. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.